Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Tagh from Zentangle. Alright, this is a neat one. Could be used for texture, nice fill in. I'm going to do my 4 corner dots here. Just put a little, so I can put a little wavy border. There we go. All right, and I don't know that this one has to be started in a corner. That's the way I saw it on my Zenthology from Zentangle, and so that's what I'm going to do. But you can have fun and play with it any way you like. All right, so we're going to start with a kind of a tethered orb type of thing. So I'm going to start here, make a curve line instead of just like doing a giant curved line. It's nice to have those in, kind of tucked in. This I'm going to use the hollow bow technique and just kind of drawing behind the border. And from here, we're going to connect the centers with just some big curved lines. And of course, however high, how wide they are apart, that is all up to you. Sometimes I get a little, well, let's see if I should have done like that. Oh, and there we go there. Sometimes if I'm doing it this way, it's just like, okay, let's, sometimes I'm not necessarily filling in order. And then sometimes I end up going too fast. Because this one is nice and easy. I'm also turning my tile so that way it's comfortable in my hands. Sometimes I like doing this also so that way you can kind of see. Well, and then you know what? And so when I turn it, then they end up a little bit weird, but you know what? That's okay. That's what makes it unique and all mine. And as I said, and if you are not familiar, I mentioned I'm using the hollow bow technique, which is when you come to a string line and you want to not go over it, but go under it. So I've started here. If I was continuing, I would land about there, and then I'd come up with another one here. It's just a neat technique to, I do like the drawing behind. I think that it's really neat. And, one of those you can, take this up as far as you want to. So I've pretty much filled that in. Next step is, just going to we put a little, like a big dash, but I like to have it a little bit rounded at the top, sort of. Could, I'm just thinking, could use just a thicker pen. But then it might, I don't want it to, oh, let's see, now wait a minute. This should be, yeah, like that, sort of. All right. And some of my, they're not necessarily centered, but that's okay. Centered meaning where this curve is, I've gone to the centers, but sometimes this part isn't necessarily centered. It's all okay, as you'll see in the end. And even like that, if some are bigger than another. This is one of those, Zentangle is a practice of not worrying about, I want to say perfection, but that's not the right. Sorry about that. My phone right next to me. As I was saying, not worrying about being perfect, just about doing. And apparently I don't know how to turn off my phone. And I do try to do these in one take, so that's why that's why you're hearing that, because it's not that big of a distraction. Now I do try to go in order, and see, and I'm kind of just going back and forth because I want it to be a little bit thick. And then I kind of just neaten up that top a bit. And that's why I'm going over kind of multiple times. When I was looking at the Zenthology, actually theirs was, it was a little bit closer in. It almost looked like an orb in some respects, but it was just kind of small. So you could decide too. I think probably not higher than what I have here, but it could just be, it could be a little smaller as well. Again, up to you. Personal creative license. Let's see, and if I had one here, that would be one there. Ooh, I could just draw the top of one here. And then it's one of those things where you can just kind of go back and, you know, if you need to round those tips, you know, the ends off, just so it doesn't look like it's, so it looks like it's one thick line. So there we go. And that is basically it for this tangle. You know, and actually, and by the way, the Zenthology is something that when you go through the certified training that all certified teachers get. Now, I suppose if you drew this big enough, you could. You know what? Here, I'm gonna do both ways. So this was what was in my Zenthology was basically just doing the entire pattern. So I'm just gonna do light graphite around the outside. Well, I actually already have some graphite there right from from the edge. And so I'm going to be careful not to go over that. And I'm just bringing it in a little bit. That way my kooky border is still there. And then I can decide later if I want to do something else on the outside. And so that's neat. Now here's the other thing I was thinking. Depending on how far, you know, how wide yours are, you could put some graphite. And I won't necessarily do this for all of them, but this way you can kind of see. I'll do it before I take the picture that you will have already seen in the graphic on the front there, the first thing that you see before you click on it. And it was, let's see, let me do, actually, okay, let me do one more row. You can kind of see how that now it's kind of pulled those apart. Let's try this one. But there's so much, let's see, I didn't do this one. There's so much graphite right there from it being in the corner. Let's just take it out one more and we'll see if that makes the difference. Yeah, that's not... I grabbed my pencil. In this, I would not bring it out too far because you need to have some original tile color. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So now you can see the difference between... Oh, let me tuck that in there. The difference between, you know, these, where I have graphite behind... Oops. Oh, no, that was the next row. And where I don't. And you can see how it kind of peels these up, like as if you could reach out. It actually, it kind of looks like feathers, sort of. But like as if you could reach out and feel those layers versus it being flat. So that's kind of a neat thing. So that way you can see, oh, that's why I might want to do it or why I might not. Again, totally up to you. So this is a neat tangle, as I mentioned, and it's simple, and simple is good. It's nice to have a nice, simple something in, you know, what do I want to say, kind of in comparison, or just having some that are a little bit, have more steps and are a little bit more complicated, or take a little bit more focus, and then some like this that are just like, oh, I can just, I need a feeling, I needed something here, oh, I'll do this. You know, so it's just a neat tangle. And I'm thinking too, because I've been looking recently from doing some things. Well, at some point I will share it. But I was just trying to do something on my own. And for those of you that have been listening, or you know, have attended some of my classes, you know, I have this spontaneous creativity issue, and just doing things off the cuff is a bit of a struggle for me. So as I'm trying to do something like that, then I'm finding myself wanting things to fill in with, and this would be one of them. Things that are easy, so things like orbs or tipple, just little straight lines, and I'm like, oh, I really need to, in my mind, have this library of, things that are, easy to do, nice to fill in a section, and all that. So, hope you enjoyed. And if you did, would love a thumbs up, the like, share, subscribe, and all of that. In the description section, you will find my step out. And actually, that's all you'll find because this is a Zentangle original. And as I was looking, I don't think that they've necessarily published it. But so here it is, because I guess I found some other videos. But that was about it. Nothing from Zentangle. And actually, I don't even think this was on Tangle Patterns. I have to go back and look. But anyway, so you'll have that and, be able to enjoy. Also in that description section, ways to connect with me if you would like. If you want to come, join me online, take a class. I do offer mostly free. I do have once a month. I have a paid class. So far, might offer more as I kind of get my own schedule down, and I'm able to afford the time to do that. So anyway, lots of information there, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the viewership, and if you've been following, I really appreciate you, following and subscribing and all that. And with that, I wish you happy tangling.